As Yet Untitled. This is the show with no name, no title, no agenda, topics, plans, or any kind of preparation, really. But we will come up with a title for the show. That is my sole aim. And to do that, I need some help. So please, will you welcome my guests?
Was it not a race?
You're the first person who's ever made the beginning funny.
It should be a race from now on.
It should be a race, but that, you know, that'll end in tears, won't it?
Yeah.
Now, Annie Siddons is here. Annie Siddons refuses to fly with soft fruit and knows how to put a smile on your face. Annie Siddons. Patrick Kielty, welcome back. Patrick Kielty swears it was Muhammad Ali. Katherine Ryan, welcome, Katherine. Katherine Ryan, who'll never wear sandals again. Joe Lycett, welcome, Joe. Joe Lycett is a friend of Tommy Corner's. Do you think we should show off your shoes?
Okay.
Just because they are...
Ready?
I mean, I'm not sure I am ready.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
Got a little
A
tassel.
little dangly bit.
Is that a zip?
Yeah.
Who's unzipping you there?
Very
Hey, baby, I want to see that ankle, baby.
a very determined fetishist. And don't think there aren't more of them than you expect. They're everywhere.
Oh, I expect a lot. Mm-hmm. It's on my rider at gigs.
A lot.
Yeah.
You hear the sound of a tiny zip going, I think, oh, God. Get off.
Yep.
Because I do that thing to my mum when we go shopping where I, like, walk behind her and, like, try and get... There's a term for it where you, like, try and get the shoes off the person in front of you.
Just being a dick.
Being a dick, yeah. That'd be great for that.
Oh, that's my least favourite thing when somebody nips the end of your shoes walking.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Are you successful? Can you get them off her?
Yeah, often. Yeah. The other thing I do is if we're like side by side, as we're walking, I'll just gently nudge her into oncoming people. So then she has to go, oh, I'm terribly sorry, and she thinks she's done it. I'm gaslighting my own mother.
This is your own mother.
Yeah.
That's funny. Helen is a babe. She wouldn't mind.
You know Joe's
Of course
mum?
I do.
Yeah.
That's a bit of fun.
How do you know Joe's mum?
I mean, I
She's a zip fetishist.
She's a very tiny woman that likes to do this.
There's an interesting thing in comedy. I think a lot of the really talented, hardworking men that I admire seem to have these powerful mums who are all friends, actually. Joe Lycett's mum is friends with also Joel Dommett's mum and Jack Whitehall's mum. And who else's mum is that? Daniel Sloss's mum?
Daniel Sloss's mum.
They have like an Edinburgh mum group.
They get together.
What do they do when they get together?
Slag us off, basically.
Oh, yeah.
They are hilarious.
But you do know this is going out on Dave. I mean, there's somebody actually sitting in the gallery listening to this now going, we'll take 6 of those. I mean, that'll be a series, comedians' mums.
We could have the mums around the table.
What do you think?
That'd be a good episode.
Should have brought her.
She's amazing.
She hasn't got any shoes on at the minute. Couldn't make it to the studio.
Would that fill you with horror?
No, I think it'd be all right. Yeah, I'd be okay with it.
Joe's mom's very talented. She has an award-winning garden. She's a painter, businesswoman.
I mean,
Are you Joe's mum's agent?
I just love a powerful woman. I could spot them a mile away, and then I sing their praises forever, in hopes that I might also become one, but it doesn't work.
In that fierce Beyonce type way.
That's it. I love her. I love your mom. Please send her my regards.
I will do. She might want to borrow
How's
the
your
shoes.
mum, Annie?
She's indomitable as well, my mum.
Is she?
Yeah, she's redoubtable.
Where's she from?
She was born in Egypt, but that's and she
woo
talks. She talks like the Queen. She's tried to massively anglicise herself, but
Not the Queen of Egypt,
occasionally.
the Queen of England.
Yeah. So she has this really like weird accent, which is like super posh, and then sometimes it just slips into strange un-English vowel sounds, and it's a pretty heady.
Can you do it?
No, but okay. So she lives in Crystal Palace, which is in an area that's kind of changed a lot. So
Sounds magical.
Have you been to the Crystal Palace?
It's absolutely magical. It's
Used to be a game show on Channel 4.
And so she said, "Oh, Annie, yes, our area has gentrified quite a lot recently. Lots of young people are coming in, and young families. It's marvellous, and lots of hipsters." So it's just the odd word.
Yeah.
It's just the odd word.
Sounds a bit like your daughter did about 3 years ago.
I know my daughter's gone through a series of accents as
Has
well.
You know Catherine's daughter. Are you guys...
Also, we have the same face.
Yes, we do. Yes,
It's all interlinked.
Oh, hang on, I feel a split screen coming on.
This is... Nice.
Like, I'll try and do your expression.
That hasn't really changed much.
And also, I'm in love with a cat, but just my cat, rather than cat dealing.
Who first told you that you have the same face? Because when I asked Joe...
Our biological father.
I can't stop looking at you both.
It is, because I remember I hosted BBC New Comedy Award and you were on it, and you were very... it felt like I was bringing out my own child. and then you didn't win it, and I was quite relieved that you didn't win it because people...
Nepotism.
Yes.
Yeah.
People actually
He was bound to win. It's his
Yeah.
dad.
But but he should have won it, Alan.
He should have.
He should have won it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only
Who won
he
it?
had.
Who won it that year?
Angela Barnes, she's
Oh,
wonderful.
she's wonderful as well.
She's
Oh,
very
yeah,
good.
I wish her...
She's been on here. She was brilliant. Yeah, lots of...
Hey,
Tell us more.
don't you talk to my son like that.
Thanks, Dad.
Annie knows how to put a smile on your face. Is this right? Is this true? Is this your...
Yeah, well, you can be the judge of that. Yeah, I live in London-ish, so I live in Zone 5, and I've
Is
got
that
this.
near the Crystal Palace?
It's nowhere near the famed and magical Crystal Palace.
Annie did this show that I saw at the Edinburgh Festival about always being in London and being an artist and a theatre person, having a great life with loads of friends, and then getting married and moving to Twickenham. And then the marriage broke up when she was stuck in Twickenham
Yeah.
with 2 kids, and it was like a sort of suburban hell story, but it was very moving, but it was hilariously funny as well, especially the bit about the book group.
Yeah.
They didn't like you having opinions about the book. That's not the point
No.
of the book group.
Well, I still live there, so I've got this huge map of London on my wall, and I live 2 inches to the west of it, so we've marked an aggressive cross on the wall where we are, and London is here. And where I live is sort of the 1950s and sort of intense sports world. So when you move in, you get entered for an Iron Man or woman automatically, and you get given...
Sounds like a good swap.
Yeah, and or a triathlon, and you get given 2 to 3 children and a sort of heteronormative nuclear setup and a set of aspirations. And and it's not the most, like, Twickenham used to be really radical back in the 60s when Eel Pie Island was there, and it was a real sort of rock and roll hippie enclave, and it just isn't anymore. So a lot of my friends, when they come, they say they get looks not of hostility, but of sort of curiosity, like, what are you? And normally it's because they're...
I'm English.
you know, and you can sort of hear them, the mums going, that's a working class person. That person is an homosexual. So it's a little bit like that. So,
Remember we saw them on the Ryanair flight when we were going to the south of France. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm going to get slated for this, but whatever. So a few years ago, I was moved by a political situation to wear a T-shirt, a political T-shirt in support of some dissidents, which is something you don't normally see in my area, people wearing political slogans on their clothing. It's normally rugby shirts and gilets is the order of the day. So,
a barber jacket with stop third runway at Heathrow.
kind of thing. And so my kids were at their dad's. So I thought I'd do some sort of an efficient morning of errands. And so I put on this T-shirt, first time I'd worn it, put on a tracksuit top over, went and did my errands really efficiently because I didn't have the kids with me. And it was a spring day, so when I'd set off, it had been quite chilly, but then in the mid-morning, it got a little bit hotter. And I'd been doing all these errands really efficiently, so I got a bit hot. And I took my tracksuit off and tied it around my waist, around the middle. And then it was like there was a sort of magical shift in everyone's perspective, and everyone in my area just became incredibly friendly and happy. People were cheering and waving and beeping their horns, and I was like, I've totally misjudged my area. Like I've been a complete prejudiced dick about this. And look, everyone's lovely, and they're obviously really moved by the politics on my T-shirt, and that's absolutely amazing. And I went home to tell my friend who was staying with me, and he said, Sids, I know things have been a bit dry for you romantically recently, but is it that bad? And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you go in the bathroom and have a look at yourself. So I went in the bathroom and I found that I tied my tracksuit round the lowest word of my Free Pussy Riot T-shirt.
Free, I like the word free.
Free. Gratis.
Yeah. No payment today.
I want one of your Free Pussy T-shirts, by the way.
Sure.
I feel like that would help me out. And not only is it free, I pay for everything.
You can watch the rest of this episode on UK TV Play. And now for some extra stories that didn't make the show. I saw you at the Royal Variety Show.
Oh, yes, that was when we last worked together.
Yeah, what a strange night that was.
It's a tough crowd, that, isn't it?
It's a tough crowd.
Who was the royals there?
The royal was Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Not a proper one.
And Camilla.
We won't be
It
doing
wasn't
it
even
again,
worth
then.
turning up, really.
It was. It wasn't a proper theatre, right? It was at the Hammersmith Apollo. So there's no wing, there's no backstage.
Yeah.
And there's about 4,000 people in that show. And so there's no room for anyone. So it was hilarious in the wing. You're on stage on your own, and you could see hundreds of people all squashed in the side.
But hang on, because normally at the Royal Variety there's a box. There's no boxes at
They made a box.
No,
They
kind of
made a box.
built a sort of temporary box in the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't look very secure, frankly. I imagine that all about 50 people around them were all Secret Service
Holding
agents.
it.
Yeah.
But no, there's no proper box.
And you met them, and
They came down and shook
what did
your
they
hands.
say?
I think he said, I can't really remember. You don't remember. It's all very strange.
well,
He said to
I
me,
was-
you've been before, haven't you? I think. But I hadn't.
Do you remember what?
Yeah, I was next to Emily Sandé, and he had a bit of a chat with her, and then he came up to me and shook my hand and said, and did you do a number as well? True story. And I just went, yeah. And he went, very good.
No.
Now, I'd done a thing about 20 years ago for the Prince's Trust, and he said, you've still got some ideas then. And I thought, well, never mind that, Charles. I'm 3 along from Lady Gaga, which is a lot more exciting.
You see, I remember meeting him at there was a reception at the Irish Embassy, and it was before the Queen came to visit Ireland, and so he did like a John the Baptist. He went to the Irish Embassy to make sure everything was fine, and the guy who was looking after him came up to me at the end, halfway through, and he said, this is going very badly. And I said, why? And he said, well, he's been here for 2.5 hours. And normally what they do, the royal family, they count how many people are in the room, and they say, you know, a meet and greet will take, based on 120 people, it'll take this. But he made the mistake of walking in and asking Irish people, and how you doing? And they told him. Every one of them. Jeez, I'm not too bad now, but me back's playing up a little bit. And jeez, your wife's younger than I thought. No, you're looking well yourself. It went on for hours. 4 hours. So you're in the Prince's Trust. You're a Are you?
I did just.
Are you an
stand-up
ambassador?
spot. No, it was a big benefit show. It was in Manchester, actually. It was at the Palace Theatre. Do you know the Palace Theatre, don't you?
The one on...
In Manchester.
Oh, in Manchester. Yes, I know
Yes.
it. Yeah, I used to work there.
Yeah.
I used to sell ice cream, so... yeah, I do know
I
it.
think I knew that of you.
Yes,
And
yeah.
you criticize Prince Charles' memory.
I know. I can't even remember
You're
where
like,
I've
did I
worked for
sell ice
years.
creams? Where have I not sold ice creams?
It was quite good. What I remember about it was I had to follow Phil Collins, who did a song called...
Oh, as an act rather than just follow him around.
Follow him around, trying to get his shoes off.
It was a contemporary dance piece.
Just followed Phil around the building as a security test. And he did this song called Where's My Hat? And he was wearing a hat while he was singing it. I kept going, where's my hat, where's my hat? Thinking, why is Phil going on about his hat? I was so confused by that. It quite threw me off my opening. And he had it on.
I quite like that.
And I went on a radio station in Australia when I was a few months later, and I told that story. And I said, "You've lost it, Collins," and that became a kind of a sting they used on the radio show for about 2 years afterwards. Every now and then someone would just go, "You've lost it, Collins!"
He's making a comeback, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Phil, has he got his hat on?
I don't know.
Well, it turns out the song's called "You Can Wear Your Hat" or something.
You can leave your hat on. That's a different.
No, that's Tom
That's a
Jones.
different
young.
song.
Or someone. That's
Who was
someone
that?
else, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
was,
someone else.
Was that the full Monty? You can leave your hat
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Tom Jones, yeah.
Tom Jones.
There's a... That brings to mind... when you...
What does that bring to mind, Alan? Apart from a hat on an erect penis.
That's exactly what it brings to mind. That's what it brings to mind, and I can tell you for why. Because when you go, I don't know why it is, but if you go to a motorway service station and you go to the urinals, there are always adverts about help for people with erectile dysfunction.
Oh, yeah.
Always. And in no other urinals do you see them except there's obviously some issue with driving and erectile dysfunction. And there's 3 men, ordinary-looking men, in the nude, all standing, and 2 of them are having to hold their hats over their privates, and one of them's proudly just got his hands free because he's...
Big old D.
He doesn't.
Because he fancies hats.
He's got some blue tack on.
I just now have this. I know, how do you do that shit?
Some tip tape.
Where else is that advert going to be shown but a men's urinal in a service station? I understand the product placement of that.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, were they going to put it in, like, ballet class? For, like, it's not going to be at Waitrose, just, put you right off.
I just have this image now of you following Phil Collins around the stage and Phil Collins having a very heavy erection with a hat on and you singing "I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight." It's something I don't want to hold. No, I do quite like holding that in my mind.
Is everything okay, Dad?
Where's me hat, son?
I'd like if he took the hat off and put it on his head, but there was another hat there.
Yes.
Never-ending hats.
Like,
Is there...
like the balloon dance. Remember the balloon dance the guys used to do?
The balloon
Yeah.
dance.
May I ask about erections? Because isn't it...
What do you want to know?
I want to know, isn't having a penis a liability? Because we're to understand that you just get erections, left, right, and center. Like, you
Yeah.
might just want to be doing something else, but you get an erection. I don't have that in my life, and I don't know what it's like.
I had an issue with this not long ago, actually, Katherine. I had my car was being fixed by a mechanic who came to collect it quite early in the morning, and I was woken by my mum shouting up saying the mechanic's here, and I'd been having a dream about Idris Elba.
Okay.
And I had my pyjamas on, I had a bit of morning glory, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll put my hand in my pocket to sort of suppress it, but then it just looked like I was wanking myself off, basically. So
But sometimes with the erect penis, you can actually fold the erect penis up
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then use the actual waistband of the garment, if you've a baggy T-shirt on, to
Yeah.
hide the...
I wish you'd been there. What I did is...
That's a really creative way by the way, to announce on television that your penis is that long.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like you were bragging. It just felt like help, but it was bragging.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
But
He wears very low slung
I was just about to say, I mean, my pajamas are not Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell just folded. Yes, from me.
Like a microphone.
I often like to fold my clit into my bra strap. That's how big it is. That's how big it is. It's a real...
He's going to write that down for a title.
Because that could go one of two ways. That could mean you have quite a large clit, or just very droopy boobs.
Well, you can see one of those things right now.
I can't.
Look
but
under the table.
That's what's dangling on the end of the shoe.
Had he done a good job with the car? Was it all repaired?
Yes, it's the crankshaft is a lot better now.
Yeah, what did you do? Did you notice? Did you comment? Did
No,
you
what
get
I did,
discount?
because Mum was shouting up, going,
Did he go like this? Idris Elba.
We've all been
We've
there.
all been there.
Mum kept shouting up, saying the mechanics here, bring the car keys down. So I tucked it. I went the other way. I tucked it in between my legs.
Oh, you went Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
It's called the Madam Jojo.
Oh, is it called?
I don't know if anyone's walked down the stairs with an erection trapped in the gooch, shall we say. It's fraught with peril. I managed quite far, and then at the end it sort of sprung out.
But you see, that's because you're still a young man.
Yes.
You know, I find...
Look, why are you looking at me so
Well, no. Well, no, when you-
by contrast.
Right here.
that idea of just being ready
Oh, yeah.
the whole time. I mean, once you get to a certain age, the sap of marriage and contentment kind of sets in.
And what age is that? Just so I know.
I'm 46. It's 46. It's kind of no, but the urge goes off you a little bit, because I remember we were on honeymoon, and I was. Oh, I shouldn't be telling. I'm just trying to work out. Is this going to be a Daily Mail sidebar story? I really need to shut my mouth if I don't want a divorce. We were on honeymoon, and there's just that moment where you just realise that there's not as much sap as there used to be. And I went for a run on the beach.
Sap?
Yeah.
Sap.
What do you mean by sap?
Well, I mean,
Lube.
like game ready. No. Lube and sap are two different things, John. I mean, they are in our house. but so I was running down the beach, and there was this girl coming the other way, and she had this dog and she was throwing the stick into the water, and she was in a bikini, and everything was jiggling and moving. And you did that middle-aged thing where you suck in, and you're running past, and she flashed this big smile at me. And my first thought, I looked back and went, Jesus, we should get a dog. And that's the point where you just realise that you're not as interested anymore.
The point is, it's when you see young women out in the town without a coat on, and you think, oh, they must be cold. They should put it. Yeah. You should wear a coat. And how are you getting home?
You will never be president of America with an attitude like that.